if you look right now, if the playoffs were to start today, the Orioles would be the number 1 seed. Yankees and Orioles are tied, but the Yankees have played 2 extra games. In fact, the Yankees have played 4 more games than Cleveland. The Guardians, don't look now, but Brian Leonard, Ralph Michaels, Cleveland Guardians have the best win percentage in the American League. They'd actually be the 1 seed. I misspoke. The Orioles would be the 2 seed, but Baltimore has the best run differential in the American League, and they're only actually 1 run behind, I believe, Dan Alexander's Phillies for the best in baseball. So this is a really good Orioles team. Meanwhile, the Texas Rangers just continue to underachieve. Dan the Man and I talked about this on the baseball show yesterday on Friday with Brian Leonard. And, the Orioles smoked them 11-2 in that first game. We said, oh, maybe it's a bounce back spot for the World Series champs. They've got Scherzer on the mound, and it didn't matter. They lost another one. Texas has now lost 5 straight. This is the defending World Series champs, which are now 37-44 on the season. And this is a situation in which it's Orioles or pass for me until I see otherwise. This is a really good Baltimore team that's been the best moneymaker in baseball now for several years. And the odds makers in the betting public, I still just have not caught on to how good this team is. I need to see the Rangers turn the corner before I'm going to back them. High total, by the way, 9.5 to the under, one of the highest totals on the board. And as is often the case, Ralph Michaels and I talk about this a lot. The highest totals go over, the lowest go under. And this is one of the higher totals today, so we probably will see some runs here as well in Baltimore.
Dodgers Giants is next on your list, Steve. Let's get into this one. Tell me what your thoughts are on this afternoon game.
Yeah, so I've talked about this with the Dodgers for several years here on numerous shows on WagerTalk TV. We either WagerTalk Today, we'll do the baseball show, obviously, every day live here on the channel during the week. And this continues to work. And it's really simple when you're looking at Dodger games. You either play Dodgers minus 1.5 run line because they're usually a favorite. You don't lay it. You take the shorter price on the run line, the better plus money price often, or you play the other team outright. And you often, when the Dodgers don't show up, they lose outright. And you get teams like San Francisco today, plus 170, plus 180 that can cash. Meanwhile, if you're going to play the Dodgers here, you don't lay the minus 210. You play the run line. And I do think this is a focus spot for LA tonight. I thought last night would actually be a focus spot. First game against San Francisco. But the Dodgers actually closed as an underdog last night as Logan Webb was on the mound. And the Giants got him 5-3. That was the second straight win for him. The Giants closed out a May series and beat him as well. So I think the Dodgers will be focused here. I like them winning this game, but I'm not going to lay over $2. I prefer to play the run line. Dodgers minus 1.5 on the run line is a much more reasonable minus 110, minus 115. And once again, over this last several years, when the Dodgers win, more times than not, they win by 2 or more because they have a good offense. And on the road also, I like the run line because they always get to bat 9 times. You don't have to worry about that 1-run lead in the bottom of the 9th. So I think this sets up for one of those good Dodger minus 1.5 run line plays that has worked pretty well over the years.
All right, the last game that Steve wants to talk about before we get into some questions from the chat, we're going Twins Mariners all the way in Seattle once again today.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that roots for either one of these teams. You got to help me out here, Kelly. If you can think of someone, let me know.
He's got to be a Mariners fan, right? He has to be.
Cabank. Yeah. Ronald probably is. Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah. He was just on. I just saw him 5 minutes
ago.
We've
already been in Seattle once today. Let's go back out there again.
Yeah. See, 2 minds are greater than one, right? That's a perfect example. I just saw a Seattle guy and didn't even think. Well, he's talking WNBA. He never touches baseball, so that's why I don't think of him. But who knows? He might root for him.
He definitely talks baseball. He handicaps baseball, but I think it's from a fan perspective that we never hear him speak about baseball, right? So I don't actually know. I'm just guessing geographically.
Well, they're a good team this year, so he should be jumping on the bandwagon. In fact, coming into this week, I saw the 5 best starting ERAs in baseball, and it was Orioles, Yankees, Dodgers, Phillies, right? No surprise. But the other team in the top 5 best starting ERA was actually Seattle. So this is a very good pitching staff. The offense is challenged at times, and that's why they have to win low-scoring games. That's kind of their MO. That's how they get it done. And it's been a pitcher-friendly park for the most part for a while now. We see a 7.5, under 25 at some of the sharper books. So I do think the under 7.5 probably is the way to go here. Twins coming in is actually a slight road favorite, which is a little bit surprising. Seattle got them last night 3-2. That game was very low scoring, stayed under the 7. In fact, halfway through the in-game line was 4.5. But yeah, it's under a pass for me once again with the Mariners at home under 7.5.